Hey gang, hope that everybody is staying dry and is good on this Friday here, September the 21st. So what I want to do is go ahead and make a quick video on how to put your data into an Excel spreadsheet. So each of you can do this. Even before you do your data collection, you can get your spreadsheet ready to go. So we demonstrated this in class, but here's a quick tutorial because I know when I'm trying to learn something on Excel, it's like unless I do it, I don't remember it. Okay, so first of all, you'll see that I have an Excel spreadsheet here, and I also have a questionnaire. So each one of you created a survey or a questionnaire, and so you'll want to convert what you've got on this questionnaire into the spreadsheet. So first of all, very first thing, what you'll want to do is you'll want to create something called either participant number or survey number, because what you'll do after you get your surveys back is then number them, sequentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, that sort of thing. So you'll put your participant or survey number. I've got participant number here. I'll make that bold. And so that will just go down the line, 1, 2, 3. So you can do this quickly. You can actually select this box and then drag down, I think. Oh, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to copy it. What we want to do is we want to create a formula. And so the way that we'll create this formula is we'll put an equal sign that tells Excel that you're going to create a formula. Equal sign, and what we'll do is we'll look at A4. What that tells the program is you're looking at column A, box 4, row 4, and you'll want to add +1 to that. Just put +1. You want to add 1 to that. And so then you'll see it went 1, 2, 3, 4. If we copy this box, which you can do that by, I learned from Greg in class, by just dropping this down, you'll see that, wow, it's like magic. So you have all these numbers. So this would be like if we had 28 participants, we have all 28 of them ready to go if we had 28 surveys. So then you'll want to, after you number them, you'll want to start creating a column for each one of your questions. So for instance, if we look over here at the measuring confidence and mental imagery questionnaire, you'll see that our student asks, what grade level are you? So I would probably put class or grade. So I'll just label it class. And you'll see that she has 5 different levels. So you'll want to assign these numbers. One thing when you do this is you want to represent your data with numbers. So for instance, when a person answers or circles what grade level they are on this particular survey, let's say they circled freshman. All right, so they circled that. Well, we'd know that participant number 1 would be 1, and that would be a freshman. Okay, so that way you can keep track of your surveys as you go through. The second question is please indicate your gender. So I would just write in gender up here. And so we left those open-ended. So however folks want to respond on gender, typically male, female, transgender. If somebody has another response, go ahead and indicate that. So you'll want to scale those. So if you want to put female 1, male 2, trans 3, and any others, therefore, afterwards. And you want to look at that after you get your surveys back. You want to know how to code those after you kind of analyze how people have answered the question. Okay, so let's just say this is a female, and our first person, our first participant, number 1, first survey. Now we go down to this instrument right here. So this would actually be your standardized instrument. In this case, it's the Trait Sport Confidence Inventory, the TSCI. And let's see how many questions are on the TSCI. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's really short. Just create a code up here at the top for yourself to be able to go and see exactly which question you are responding to when you put them into Excel. Okay, and you'll see that because I emboldened the first one of these headings, it went ahead and made all of these bold. So let's say that this particular participant number 1, answered something like 4, 5, 2, 4, 7. Now in this case we learned in class that she needed to get a total. So even though we've got the individual scores for each one of these questions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, even though we've got the individual scores, really if you have a standardized instrument, usually it's dealing with a total. And so we'll want to create another heading, a TSCI, and we're just going to label that total. So there we go. And let's say, gosh, I don't want to do addition every time. What you can do is you can use this auto sum function, which is really cool. It's a really cool feature in Excel. So you'll just put auto sum, and you'll notice here it selected everything in that row. We don't want everything in that row. Very important, okay, if it does this. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to actually scale this back. Because we're just dealing with the TSCI, you'll just want it to add these columns or these rows right here, these columns right here. Press enter, boom, your addition's done. We know that Excel's told us that if you add these 5 numbers together, you get 22. Really, really cool. What you can do then is the same thing that we did over here with our participant number. Now that you've created a formula, you can click and drag this down. And then when you put in the rest of your surveys, let's say this person answered 3, 2, 5, 4, 2. It automatically is going to take care of it for you. So it's going to be quick. This is going to be a quick time saver for each one of you. Okay, so we've got those questions. Now there's a little bit more to this survey. So then our researcher has created the mental imagery rehearsal inventory, the MIRI. All right, so I'm glad that there's a name for it, because then we can go over here and we can code it appropriately. So we go MIRI 1. I believe there are 5 questions. MIRI 2, but we may have an issue coming up, so we'll take a look at that in just a moment. I'm going to scroll over a little bit. MIRI 2. Let's make sure I'm getting this right. How often do you practice? So they have 1 through 9 rating. You'll be entering numbers there. The third one, same thing, 1 through 9. We go down to number 4, and this is one of those click all that apply, or check all that apply, or circle all that apply. If you have a question like this on your survey, here's what you do. You can't just leave one and then write in the responses. You have to make a new column over here for each possible response. So let's see what that looks like. Let me get through this third question. MIRI 3. Okay, so this would be MIRI 4, but we're going to label it MIRI 4A because A will represent vision, B will represent audition, auditory, gustation would be C, D, olfaction, E, somatosensation, which we want to add an S there, and I believe that's F would be kinesthetic. So let's go ahead and add those, and this is what it will look like then. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possible answers. Cool. So in this case, rather than the 1 through 9 rating with this MIRI 4, we're either going to indicate 1s or 0s. 1 is going to indicate yes, 0 is going to indicate no. So let's say somebody, when they did this, they circled vision, they circled gustation, and they circled kinesthetic. So what that would look like is for 4A, which is vision, that'd be a 1. MIRI B, 4B is audition, and so that'd be a 0. Oops, excuse me, 1, and that would be a 0. The gustation would be a 1. Olfaction and somatosensation would be 0s, and kinesthetic is represented by the F, so that would be a 1, which would equal yes. I hope that's making sense to each one of you. In other words, yes will equal 1, and no would equal 0. Sorry, fixing my heading here. It was bothering me. Okay, now, do we have another one like this? No? The fifth question is another 1 through 9. So that's pretty cool. But what this particular researcher wanted to do is she wanted to add all of these together to see, you know, if the more of these that you use, the better you are with your visualization and with your athletic performance. So we would want to put MIRI for total. And if we remember really easily, we can go up here to the auto sum, select that, and look at that. It automatically highlighted all of the columns that we needed. Hit enter. Same thing that we did before. We click and drag this down, and that will make sure that we then are able to put in other data. Let's see, we have somebody that answered all of these. Boom, we've got 6 for a total. One more column and then we're done. MIRI 5. And again, that's going to correspond with this particular question right here. And that's it, gang. You've created something that you can put your data into and fly through this. So once you get your data collected, just take survey by survey, survey 3, put in the data right across there. Put that survey aside. Grab number 4, put all the data in there. Grab number 5, put all the data in there. If you put these formulas in there, it'll tabulate everything for you. I'll create another video that shows you how to put this into SPSS, but you should be in tall cotton right here. If you have any questions, email me. Otherwise, good luck creating your spreadsheets and good luck getting your data. I'll see you soon.